bucket or face the wrath of Squirrel Girl.
You gotta be kidding me!
Hey everybody, Glenn here, and today being International Women's Day, I thought what better time than today to revisit some old pop figures and go over my top 10 female pops. Now these are in no particular order, but it was super fun to go through. I actually had to leave a lot out. You can see behind me there's a lot of great female characters made into pops that I wasn't able to fit into this top 10. But I did want to do an honorable mention first, and that is Wonder Woman in her invisible plane. I love this pop ride. I didn't want to include it because I didn't think it was fair to include pop rides in this top 10. But I just love this, and it's a great display piece. And it gets a lot of attention when people are looking at my collection. I just love the invisible plane. And the pop looks pretty good as well. So it's the classic Wonder Woman pop, which I think actually looks better than some of the older Wonder Woman pops. Obviously, it's made just for the pop ride. So that's the honorable mention. Now to get into the top 10. These are in no particular order. I just picked them out of my collection because I like them so much. Starting with, we had to have a Harley in this, right? So I got a ton of Harley Quinns. Tough to pick one, but I went with the new 52 version. I love the casual way she's leaning on her sledgehammer there. Very colorful, probably the most colorful Harley that there is. A lot of great detail, like her gun and her holster. Both of them, actually, that are different colors. Just the red and the blue motif just looks really good. They did a really good job with this particular pop. So, Harley. Next, from Game of Thrones, one of my favorite pops of all time, not to mention, not just as a female pop, but just one of my favorite pops, and that is Ygritte. Ygritte, it's a classic Game of Thrones pop. It's actually retired now, pretty rare, not that easy to find, so that makes me happy too. But I just love the detail on this pop, particularly when you look at her clothing. It has that worn, northern weathered look. I've never seen another pop look quite like this. I just think it looks great, and they just did a really good job with the detail. So there's Ygritte. Badass for sure. Alright, speaking of badasses, I'm a sucker for anything that's kind of a mashup or that is something out of left field. So the next one I have is Black Widow with Captain America's shield from Age of Ultron. Again, I just love the fact that they included one with a shield from a seminal scene in the movie. I just think it looks great. I love her pose. The way she's kind of leaning to one side with the shield. Just looks great. Actually, I think this might be... Is this Age of Ultron? Yeah, it's Age of Ultron. It's just a really good design. Some of the older Black Widows came out kind of square and boxy looking. This was the first... the Age of Ultron set was the first one that I thought the Black Widow came out really good. Okay, next we're continuing with Marvel. And this is Storm in her black suit. There's a glow-in-the-dark version of this as well, which I don't have, but this black suit is Hot Topic exclusive. I like the detail on this. Just how striking the white hair is in comparison to the rest of the pop. The lightning bolt earrings. This is very 90s X-Men, which I like as well. The blacks are done really well. It just contrasts so well with the yellow and the white. It's just a great looking pop. Alright, next, a pop that made it into the tournament from last year, and that was Maleficent. I love the colors on this pop. They just did the green of the face and the hands just perfectly. It just is a perfect representation of the Disney baddie. So Maleficent, I like her pose, how she's, kind of conjuring things up in the air. And it's just a good looking pop figure for those reasons. This one got a little bit dusty. So love the coloring on this is important because I think the contrast between the purple and the black and the green just looks great. All right, next, my only Street Fighter pop, and that is Chun-Li. I like this pop a lot because of the stance. You don't see too many with just that fighting fist out in front of her, ready to go. Not a moving pop, but she is ready to move at a moment's notice. Nice job with the details. I like the back with the imprinting of her tunic. And I like the eyeshadow look on the face as well. Just a good looking pop. All right, next we've got from DC the modern day Batgirl. This is actually the Batgirl. I believe this is one of the exclusives. It's the 2016 Batgirl, but it's the black and yellow, not the blue one. The thing I like about this particular pop is, again, her pose. I like she's got Batarang in hand ready to go, but she's got her hand on her hip as if to say, you really don't want to mess with me. I love the way they do the hair, kind of coming out of the cowl. They did a good job there. And I like these, like if you look at the older Batgirls, and I don't know if you can see it from here, you can't quite. But the eyes are done differently. They're the white eyes on the black cowl. I like that there's some space. You can kind of see her face through the cowl a little bit. So, Batgirl. Now, the other thing I'm a sucker for is anything that has a little accessory. And in this case, it's Squirrel Girl. Bobble this is from Collector Core, but she's also got her little tippy toe there. I think that's tippy toe. Her main squirrel buddy. I like this pop set. I love the tail. They did a really great job there. And Squirrel Girl is one of my favorite female characters because she's kind of a Deadpool type where she's so ridiculous, but she's so powerful at the same time. It's a nice, it's a funny way to do a character. She doesn't break the fourth wall that much, but she definitely is one of those things where she beats up on insanely, cosmically bad guys, powerful bad guys, and just as Squirrel Girl. It's a great concept, and I love it. All right, next, probably my favorite female superhero in general in the comics, and that is She-Hulk. I love She-Hulk, who now is Hulk. She's taken over the main Hulk book in the comics, but I love how they did her hair. It's just kind of really huge and wild. The green looks good. They gave her, I think, her face just... They made the eyebrows just menacing enough, but still kind of has that playful tone, and I love her pose. Definitely, again, one of my favorite. For some reason, the Hulks in general, I really like as superheroes, but She-Hulk has always been one of my favorite females. All right, and lastly, number 10, we go to the Star Wars universe, and of course, we're talking about Rey. And there's quite a few Reys, but I picked Rey with the lightsaber because she fits really well with Kylo Ren. It makes a nice little battle scene. But again, this is a strong pose, comes straight from the movie, and just a great looking pop. Down to the detail of her hair in the back, the triple ponytails there, and the hair going down the side of her face. Just looks great. Now the lightsaber is a little bendy, so they have a hard time with that sometimes. But other than that, it's just spectacular. And I love the stand. They're doing these different white stands for snow. instead of the regular Star Wars stance. So that looks great. All right, that's it for my top 10 female pops. These change all the time because as soon as I get the bombshells, I'm sure they'll rise into my top 10 really quickly. But just a short video for you today. Happy International Women's Day, and hope you enjoyed this. Leave me a comment. Hit me on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Love to hear your thoughts on these pops and anything else you got for me. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.